But all right, so welcome to the Rambling Ranting Review Hour. We have my buddies Goro.
Hey, what's up?
And we have Zavul, who I'm finally dragged into one of these things in forever.
What's up?
Who kind of has a muscle microphone because you still haven't unpacked your house? Moving?
I'm getting there. Fuck off.
I don't know why this is like such a limited priority to you. Like when I moved into my new place, I was like, all right, I want to get everything unpacked and situated as soon as possible. I mean, I knew you've had issues.
Yeah, we have a lot of shit. We have an entire storage locker that we unpacked in the basement too. So I've been slowly working on that. I got a bunch of my comics out now, so that's good.
All right. Hopefully you find that microphone wherever it may be. Hopefully it comes in. All right. So we got a bunch of stuff that I'm looking forward to talking about. Goro's looking forward to talking about. But let's kick it off by talking about Chainsaw Man, the Part 2 and the anime. So, gents, what did you think of Chainsaw Man Part 2 so far? Or what did you think of the anime? And then we'll go to Chainsaw Man Part 2.
I mean, the anime is absolutely gorgeous. It's easily one of the best series I have seen in years at this point. I am thrilled to death.
Goro, do you have any thoughts about the Chainsaw Man anime for the first 12 episodes?
So Scott's so thrilled he could go right to hell and then back. Like that's how thrilled I am too about this anime right now.
I think they had a high bar. Mappa exceeded it, and I'm fully very pleased with how it went. And I thought it was a 10 out of 10 adaptation. That obviously, I mean, there were a few nitpicks, but they were really minor. I think overall they knocked it out of the park. It was a fantastic score. All the sort of slower scenes got a lot of love, and I've heard people argue. I saw some Twitter thing that said it was oh, do you want to show your significant other Chainsaw Man? It's no, I don't want. I want them to read the manga because that's the best way to experience the story. And now, I still love the manga. I'm still a Fujimoto stan, but I fully disagree with anyone who says that the anime ruined the manga. It's what the fuck are you reading? That's the whole goddamn point of it. That's what made it good. Where it had those quieter moments of cinematic realism in fucking comic form, and the anime understood it. It understood it absolutely perfectly.
Yeah, anyone who signed that stupid goddamn petition asking for a reboot of Chainsaw Man or a different director, they can fuck off.
Did that actually happen?
Yeah.
Yes, and it's stupid.
Yes,
stupid.
Oh my god.
It made me really, really angry. It was just what are you complaining? What the fuck are you watching? You got the balls to the wall action that went a lot harder. The first, honestly, I don't even think the Eternity Devil and the Leech Devil deserved as much love as they got, but they were far beyond what I expected. And to I don't know what you're complaining about. Having the slow moments is pretty much what defined the series.
Yeah, the production values were just totally through the roof. They gave so much love to this series, and especially with the intros and outro songs, the voice acting talents were so great for those characters. There's so many great things. There's so many amazing things it really hit for this series.
Oh yeah, God,
remember. Yeah, I don't remember the last time I just stopped and went, oh, wow, the grass in the background is really pretty.
Yeah, there's so many
This is not what I expect out of shonen anime adaptations. Oh, hold on, I need to go stare at this at the grass out in this field. I can't believe they spent this much time and effort on that.
By the way, you guys gonna turn on webcams or?
I don't know. I messed with mine. It wouldn't turn on. I'm not gonna mess with it. Like people don't necessarily need to see my face. As long as we're here and recording our voices, that's good enough. I'm not
Okay.
like if it comes on, it comes on. But like, see, it's like doing the, I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood to troubleshoot it.
Okay.
But whatchamacallit, yeah, like there's just so many like great beautiful details, like the very central scene where like Makima kind of like seduces Denji after he has his existential breakdown after touching the boobs. Whatchamacallit, just like the slow scene where not Aki, Himio brings Denji back to her place, and her like little drunken routine as she like gets comfortable in her own situation. The vibe of the bar scene, just so many like great little touches like that.
Oh, yeah.
Or even like one of my favorites, like the Aki's morning routine.
Yeah, that was
that
wasn't even in the manga. That was just added in the anime.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Yeah.
as a little minor detail.
I mean, technically, you could argue it's filler, but it's the kind of filler that like feels perfectly in tone with the, the manga's mood, and it perfectly serves the material it was adapting with, like introducing power right after.
Oh my
Oh, yeah.
god!
Yeah.
And what they added, to Kobeni's character too. That scene where she's like, it's like, ha ha, like that was like all embellished in the anime. It was like so well like done, and so much love was like poured in this series, or in this first season so far, and
Yeah.
I'm blown away.
This is my favorite shonen manga.
Yeah, it was a beautiful adaptation, and the funniest part, this is like the most basic of Chainsaw Man material. This isn't even like the A+ stuff. This is sort of what it's kind of like going through the motions of being a traditional shonen manga, or at least pretending to, before getting the go-ahead to like go into real crazy town.
Oh yeah. Figured. I got Clara into Chainsaw Man as well, and she has just plowed through it. She's now at the point where spoilers, go fuck yourself, go read the manga.
Yeah.
But she is at the point where Denji defeats the Gun Devil Fiend, and she's kind of, it's like, I'm not gonna be okay for a while. Go crawl into a corner and die.
After seeing the death that comes after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy, only a few chapters later before the next big one.
Now,
Yeah.
did you guys happen to watch...
what was your reaction to the Darkness Devil?
Oh, the Darkness.
Oh god, she both fucking loved it and was like really creeped out by it.
I still say that like that is like still one of my like most favorite sequences I've seen in a long time in any manga.
Oh yeah, she wants a poster of the bisected astronauts.
that does deserve to like just be put on a wall.
Oh, you mean when she got up through the manga? Because the Darkness Devil didn't show up in the anime yet. Oh.
Well, so Scott introduced her to the manga or the anime, and then she started reading the manga too, because she couldn't wait every week.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, I'm glad she's enjoying it. That's it's not easy to get significant other into a series, but I mean, this series should be easy. Should be easier.
Oh, I'd say she's, Clara's got like more weeb tendencies than Shawnee, so I think it's a little bit of an easier sell for her than it is for you.
She has more weeb tendencies than I do.
Yeah.
Of the two of us, she is the one that likes playing JRPGs.
Well,
You've enjoyed JRPGs
Yeah,
once
I
upon a
know,
time.
but yeah, yeah, they have to be like. I, she is far less picky about the JRPGs she enjoys, so she just plays them for funsies. Whereas I'm incredibly snitty and picky about the ones I want.
I see.
um,
Although here's something I'm kind of morbidly curious. So for my birthday this year, I forced Zavil to watch or read Jujutsu Kaisen. And Goro, you have not read Jujutsu Kaisen, but you've watched the anime. So what do you how do you think Jujutsu Kaisen? Because they're from the same studio. There's always the joke of Jujutsu Kaisen versus Chainsaw Man. I think Jujutsu Kaisen doesn't stand a fucking chance. I appreciate it for what it is, but I think it's like comparing like a Marvel movie to I don't know, a new Tarantino joint or like some auteur filmmaker or the guy who made the Northman or the Witch. But Greg, what did you think of the Jujutsu Kaisen anime first season? And Zavil, what did you think of the Jujutsu Kaisen manga?
I mean, it's okay. You are right. It does have it is a little meaner than your average shonen manga, but oh god, I am so bored by the main character. You had me read the I guess it was like a test chapter or
The prequel one, the like weird
yeah,
pre-serialization
honestly,
pilot thing.
That was so much more interesting than Dude Bro Punch Hard.
Zavil is a fan of the Zayuta versus Itadori, who's basically your standard good boy.
Yeah, Itadori is kind of boring.
He's like very plain toast.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, yeah, to me, like that's not like the main highlight of Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, yeah, you kind of have like your main character, your very basic toast main character, but you're like putting him in this world and this setting along with some awesome Sakuga action, and a somewhat interesting like mystery like plot behind the scenes with the villain characters. It grew on me a little bit, but like I don't know if we're supposed to be comparing this to Chainsaw Man at all.
Well, all right. So here's the question: how do you think the first season of Jujutsu Kaisen versus the first part of the season 1 of Chainsaw Man?
So I gotta say, it's just a question of the source material. Like both of them had a lot of care and love put into it. Actually, probably a little bit more love for Chainsaw Man, especially given how many different alternate endings they added for Chainsaw Man. And like all those subtle references, I feel like throughout the intro, everything. But man, I think it's just a question of I think it's mostly just a question of the source material. The source material, just like Chainsaw Man, probably just blows any other standard shonen storytelling out of the water.
It really does.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm sorry, what were you gonna say?
I mean, I like One Piece, I really do, but out of the two, Chainsaw Man still has the better story chops.
Yeah, the better writing beats. As much as I love One Piece, and we're gonna have some interesting things to talk about. But we'll hold on. The one thing I'll give Oda over Fujimoto though is I still think Oda's like a. But then again, I think there aren't many people in world building who can beat Oda in terms of like the scope and scale. Like pound
Oh
for
yeah.
pound, pound for pound, like the character beats of Chainsaw Man are better. Like even in like the recent chapter of like the 10 fucking pages of Denji just like pulling out the starfish was like such a great subtle like reward point. And it was that was just like so fucking beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you guys happen to see Super Eye Patch Wolf's review of Chainsaw Man?
Oh yeah.
I've seen half of it. I need to finish the rest of it.
He really does break it down very very well, I think. Like it's not only like the action in the like the characters playing off of each other. I think it's, you know, sorry, what was Chainsaw Man's the mangaka's name again?
Atsuki Fujimoto.
Fujimoto, right?
Yeah.
Fujimoto, he like his movie aficionado-ness like gives like all his like the pacing and the panels and like the story beats like that much more impact. Like he, you know, the way Aki does this like apple peeling thing while having a conversation with Denji and uses the apples to, you know, like it's a very subtle like visual scene like you wouldn't normally see like I think in a manga at all. But I think a lot of that influence, or a lot of that is influenced through movies. I feel, you know, like the visual storytelling through movies, and like Super Eye Patch Wolf, he broke it down, just first like, you know, what were like some of the major appeals for it. But like it took him like more than half the video to even broach upon like what is even Chainsaw Man about. Like, and that was something really mind-blowing to me because it's like, wow, he pulled off like so many great things that didn't even have to get into the actual story that we still loved about Chainsaw Man. And you know, to me that's like, wow, that's amazing because, you know, story is just such a big deal sometimes. Like we at that point it's like, you know, for a lot of it it's like there's so much skill put into like his work too, and like how the animation translated that too, that it's just so much to talk about.
Yeah, the anime just did a fantastic job. Like you could argue maybe about the CGI, like the Katana Man CGI was a little iffy, but I still think they're like some gorgeously like the sequence where Aki spars with the Cursed Devil against the Katana Man, the gorgeous like heartbreaking sequence where Himio has her last stand, where she like, you know, I'll give you my everything, and then the music cue turns on as like the Ghost Devil hands start coming up. Just so many like little beautiful moments that are like both, you know, gory, satisfying, action packed, but also soulfully like pressing. The anime is just filled with wonderful little touches like that.
Yeah, and I especially love like a lot of these like alternate endings will play up on like what happened in the episode too. Like one of my favorites that I wrote down a list of like all my favorite.
Well, all right. So this is the part I'm really, really excited. Let me see if I can pull this off, though. So I'm going to share my screen, and I've got the whatchamacallit, the Chainsaw Man. All right, here we go.
Oh, you're gonna put it on.
That's what I'm trying
Okay.
to do. Can you see it or is it not work? There we go. All right.
I can see it on
All
your
right.
screen.
So do you see it? Do you guys see it?
I can see it on Discord, but I don't know if I can see it quite yet on the stream, but it'll probably show up.
Well, as long as
Because of
you
the
as
delay.
long as you can see it on Discord, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can see it.
All right, so here we go. I hope you did your homework. We are in it. This is the tier list. All right. Here's how we're gonna do the rules. Chainsaw Man, one of the most brilliant things, and whoever chose to do this deserves all the fucking money. Chainsaw Man does something really unique and really special. Every single ending episode has a unique ending song and its own little animation and music video. I love so many of them. I want to do a tier list. So here's how it's going to work. We're going to go through all the endings, and we're going to, I'll throw something out here. We'll argue, but to get it locked in place, we need to come to a 2-man consensus.
Oh
Okay.
God, that's gonna take forever.
All right. So let's start off with ending number 1, Chainsaw Blood.
Sorry. Chainsaw Blood
Yeah,
was. Oh, we're not doing the intro at all either.
Well, we'll save that for last. I want to start with the endings first.
So Chainsaw Blood was
Chainsaw Blood.
Right.
So
I hate you. Stop.
I would have probably ranked that as so you have A and B.
So, well,
Yeah.
here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to suggest it goes into either B or C tier. The reason being, I actually like the song, but the problem is that like this animation, it's mostly just like it cuts from the episode. That's like it's edited really well, but it doesn't have a lot of original animation to it. It just has the song and mostly clips from the episode we just saw. It's got that little cute thing where like Poochie like kind of bobs to the beat, but so to me, I think it deserves to go into like the lower tiers of them. It's not bad, but
I would definitely put it in B tier too because I have it in the middle of my list, and it is really catchy. I think it sets a good baseline of like, what I expect from a great endings, but a pretty decent ending sequence for Chainsaw Man.
all right, so
Yeah, that could have been the ending. I wouldn't have been upset about it. So yeah, I'd say B tier.
okay, so we all consented. It is B tier. All right, so then the next ending, I'm trying to remember what the song is. It's like in Japanese, but it's like the one where they're in the city. It's kind of like the first like kind of like slice of life feeling ending.
Is that? Yes, I know which one you're talking about. I just labeled it as the third one, and it's kind of like this watercolorly palette, and
I think the
like,
song
kind of like loose sketchings of the characters.
Yeah. It's like it's called Remaining Lives. It's kind of like Denji's going to Tokyo. He's going to the big city, and that's kind of the vibe of the ending. So it's like he's meeting up with Aki. He's meeting with Power. They're gonna have fun. They're gonna hang out. So it's kind of like it's decent. It's not a bad ending at all, but it's like considering how strong this tier, some of the other ones are. I feel like it's not the most memorable. I'd suggest either C or B tier. What are your guys' feelings?
C.
Well, I would probably put B, like probably just behind the catchy chainsaw blood.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think that's fair. It's not bad by any means, and it's like I like the tone of it, but I think if this wasn't so competitive, it would go higher. So I'm going to put it by Chainsaw Blood.
Yeah, I guess both of these. I mean, you're basically grading on a curve. None of these I would have been upset to have as the actual ending if they'd only had one.
I'd say this one, one of its problems was it's a little bit too cheery and upbeat. It doesn't quite fit tonality with
Chainsaw Man does have like lighthearted, fun moments. It's not all doom and gloom. I mean, that's
Yeah.
the reason why the series works so well.
Yeah, I know. It's just it kind of feels like the ending song of something like, you know, so you could just like copy and paste this ending song into something like Demon Slayer or Naruto and it would still work, you know? Like it doesn't feel uniquely like something that is Chainsaw Man, you know. It's
Yeah.
literally like a generic like an anime shonen ending song.
All right, you convinced me. I'm thinking about putting it into C tier. Do we have a vote?
Oh,
for-
I wasn't gonna thinking of putting it lower than that, but I still love the the hand drawn quality of that.
Okay, so
the-
we'll keep it in B. We'll keep it in B. But I do agree. It does feel like it could be for like anything. It's not bad by any
Yeah.
means. All right, so next is what I think is going to be Demon in the Name of Devil.
Oh, yes.
Blade length 200 million centimeters. S tier, hands down. Any thoughts?
A tier.
Oh! Oh! Ah! No! 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 That is like one of the best endings. It is so good. It literally becomes Denji's fight anthem as he like hypes himself up. And oh god, they like start playing it, and he's fighting against the Eternity Devil, and he's fighting against Katana Man. It's like, oh yeah!
I hesitate to put it in S tier, but the reason being is because I have 3 others on my list that I want to put above Devil in the Name of Devil.
Demon in the Name of Devil.
Yeah, Demon in the Name of Devil.
I have one specific song that I think belongs in A tier, or one specific ending that I think belongs in A tier. And I mean, this is
mean
my
S
second
tier?
favorite. Yes, S tier. I mean, this is my second favorite, but I mean, I'm aiming to put exactly one song in S tier if I can.
Oh, all right. So you got a fucking agenda. All right.
You know what? I do want to put it in.
So, Greg, you're the deciding vote. Who are you going with? I think it deserves S. I think it's instantly, as the kids say, it's a banger. It slaps. I feel like I want to shoot myself for saying those things, but like I think it like honestly deserves that. But
You know what?
Oh fuck! I'm old.
I love how tonality fits really well with Chainsaw Man, and they do some amazing little scenes from that.
So I'm S. Zavil Scott is for A. You're the deciding fucking man. This is 12 angry men. Only it's 12 angry weebs.
I'll
Fucking 3 of us.
I'll put it in S. You know what? There's a lot of good. There's a
Damn
lot
it,
of
Craig.
good intros. I'll put it in S.
All right.
And
Ooh.
I might have a big list for S.
I'm so glad that you did the research all right, so the next one is Toby May, the aka the Power Song. So this one is one of the more lighthearted ones. I think the song is Tablet. What do you guys think of Power's anthem? Power's fight song.
A tier. I really liked it. It was a perfect encapsulation of her character.
I'd say visually, like it's very kind of like boring. And there's like maybe it's a great like it's a nice character piece thing. But in terms of like catchy song, it doesn't really hit the spot either for me. I like it because it's Power, and Power is like one of my favorite characters in the show, in the series. It just is like slightly below Chainsaw Blood. I might even put it in C tier.
Whoa!
As like that's like that's hitting like a pretty bare minimum for you know what? I'll put it in B. I'll put it in B. B tier.
Okay, I agree with B tier. Is that the consensus?
Yes.
No, fuck you guys.
I'm surprised you were like originally you were like more passive about it, but your appreciation for the power ending grew.
It has grown on me, yeah.
Interesting. I wonder if like rewatching it with Clara gave you like a new appreciation for it.
It grew on me a little bit.
I'm still gonna.
I do admit it did grow on me again when I saw it
It also
again.
got stuck in my head a lot after the second time I watched it.
What did you say?
It got stuck in my head a lot after I watched it the second time.
All right, so should I put it above Chainsaw Blood? Because it does have more unique
Yeah.
animations than Chainsaw Blood.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's a good place. All right.
I would put it behind, but that's just me.
I mean, I like Chainsaw Blood. I think it's really good for what it is, but I think, like, from a production standpoint, it's easily the least interesting out of all of them. And it makes sense. You threw a lot of fucking resources at Chainsaw Man, so it makes sense that, like, you know, you half phone it in for the first ending, but it's still really well edited. The song is really catchy. All right.
Yeah.
So next is episode 5. Which is, what is the song? In the Back Room. So I think that this is going to be probably an agreed upon S tier.
This is S tier, and I swear to God, if anyone disagrees with me, I will come to your house and in YouTube parlance, unalive the fuck out of you.
In Minecraft.
This is the one that was it's kind of like the MC Escher kind of stuff going on.
Yeah, with like the exploding heart and the horses who were like
and the Four Horsemen.
Yeah, like visually it's pretty stunning, like what they did with it. I didn't really like the song that much.
Fuck yourself.
I did.
Fuck yourself right now. Lazy sleeping fuck. Fucking show up late and then give me this shit.
Make your case. What about the song does not work for you?
It's like it doesn't feel quite as like it's got as much heart. I don't know how to
I don't
articulate it.
It's like it's gorgeous. I'm like looking at it right now. It's like an artistic triumph.
Right? Yeah. No, the visuals are really neat. I just feel like the song is kind of a little lame with it, but it's not like my favorite of the songs at all. I would put it like probably in B tier with Power.
No! Oh my fucking God! No! Oh!
All right. So where do you guys want to? Where would you guys?
I think it's an easy S tier.
Yeah, it is. I will fucking hunt your children down.
All right. Well, consensus says it's an S tier, but I would definitely put it behind Demon in the Name of Devil.
No. This is fucking absolutely gorgeous. It has some of the most interesting visuals in the entire catalog of endings that we get. This is my favorite. Fuck you, Craig.
Okay, fine.
Fucking gorgeous.
Fine. You guys win the consensus. I'm still entitled to my
you're entitled to your wrong opinion. That is fair.
Fucking wrong on you goddamn what. All right, well, that was my agenda for the evening.
All right, well, you got to have it. All right, so let's see. Now we are on to ending 6, which is Cerebral Rendezvous. What was ending 6? It is the one with
Oh, It's called Canaria.
So it's another
I-
it's another kind of backrooms one with a lot of M.C. Escher stuff. Yeah, it's like the one with the frames and the tilting around.
And they throw a bunch of like manga panels into the center of the stairs. To me, this was like the weakest one, actually.
Really?
Yeah,
I mean, I had some issues with, well, I guess not issues so much as coming off of that last ending. I feel like I would have been disappointed with almost anything. But yeah, you know what? I'll accept that. I would say maybe C tier.
yeah, same. Actually, I would put it. That's exactly where I put it.
Yeah, I agree. Like if the things weren't as strong as they were, it's not bad by any means, but considering like everything else we've gotten, I think it's a C tier. So I full-heartedly agree. I think it belongs there. You guys still there? Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right,
Yes.
so now we move on to ending 7. Now this is going to be contentious, because I really fucking like this ending. Zavul was not a huge
Me too.
fan. That's the Chew Diversity, the whatchamacallit, retro 90s song with
This-
like all the fucking like choose your own RPG adventure and the rainbow puke kiss.
This was like actually my absolute favorite one. I would have put this one at the top of the S tier.
Greg, stop banning cheesecake, you goddamn fuck.
I love this ending so much because of like those random like it's so much more. It's like so interesting, like what they did with the like watching like a TV screen of like a 8-bit like video game version of like what happened in the previous episode. Like Kobeni meeting the group, and it's like it kind of is like a, you know, an 8-bit like RPG kind of thing. And there's just, and the later on it's like the 3D diorama spinning of like the throw up kiss with like rainbows coming out of it. Like that was so funny. That was so great.
You disappoint me.
I don't think it deserves S. I like it a lot. My vote is for A tier.
I'm almost tempted to go D tier.
Oh my God! Oh, why do you
No
hate
way!
it? Why, like, do you hate it just because of
Is
the
it-
fact that they have like the kind of like erotic photos of the female characters? Like, I could see you throwing that against
No.
it, but
No, I just the JRPG element just doesn't really add anything to the series. Just kind of boring. Doesn't really do anything for me. All the other ones sort of play up a newer, interesting aspect of the rest of the series, or do kind of a character send up or something like that. But it doesn't really do anything for me. Like, nobody plays video games. It's not about video games. No one fucking cares. It's just kind of boring.
well,
Silly.
well, here,
But like, how many endings do you see that does something like this? Is like ambitious enough, an anime ending that like takes an idea like this and like, you know, really runs with it to try something so new, you know?
I mean, we have plenty of new and interesting art direction for the endings. I mean, saying that I don't think this one worked.
I argue differently, just because like I think Chainsaw Man takes place in 1997, so it's like kind of era appropriate, and it feels like it's this homage to the bygone era of like hyper detailed animation. To me, it gave me a huge nostalgia trip. I felt like I was in Otakon, and I was walking into like watching some 80s anime OVA after watching Otaku no Video, and it's like the Dirty Pair, and it's like it had some like Hideki Anno genius who did like an especially detailed animation, and I had like an otaku guy explaining it to me in the history, and it just oozes that energy.
It's like when they first, and like also the song is like really it's really pleasant to hear. It's got really calming vibes like right after that episode with just like the bar scene. It fits like tonality like wise very well, I think.
You think it has the hangout vibe of like of like the colleagues just get after a hard mission, they go to the bar.
Yeah, like it's kind of like, in a sense, look at it like this way, like them going to the bar was like them escaping from like all the horrors of like what they actually do for a living, and this is kind of like the downtime relaxation ending vibe, to be like, all right, we're just gonna hang out and be cool, and we're gonna play video games and watch TV and have like this almost 90s 80s vibe to this in terms of art style and direction.
Yeah. You know what? You two debate it, because I know I'm not going to be able to drag you guys down to a D tier.
Well, that's how democracy works, baby. So Goro, I suggest A tier.
I feel so hurt by putting it in A tier. Like, do you see how much care and effort was put into something like this?
I love it. I think it's great, but like I don't think it's S tier.
You're killing me, man. This is like my absolute favorite one.
I never knew this was your favorite one. That this was like the one you loved the most.
Yeah, and it's got like that, and it hits that really funny like comedy beat, like towards the middle of the song with like, after all the pinup versions of the characters, like the just like a 3D like weird diorama of Himeno like throwing up in Denji's mouth with rainbows. It's like, that's beautiful. It's beautiful, and it's like funny at the same time. So you got like, tell me, what's your case for bringing it down, Isaac?
I think it's artistically homaging, but it's not like doing something really weird that I've never quite seen before. Like I think the Demon versus In the Name of Devil's like tonally all over the place. It's got a really kick-ass song, and it goes from like the harsh extremes of like heavy metal, and then the Makima, scene with her Denji worshiping the angel image of her. The other ending is just like just so artistically beautiful and interesting and creative and just gorgeously designed. And I love that ending, but I don't think it's as artistically rich as the other ones.
All right, I have a suggestion. Here's how we're going to resolve this.
What's that?
If Greg doesn't agree to put it in A tier, Isaac, will you agree to put it in D tier with me?
Come on, Isaac. You're one step away from putting it in S tier. Literally one step from putting it in S tier.
Yeah,
is it worth it?
How angry do you want to make Greg right now? He did show up late. We're pretty pissed earlier.
Yeah, there's a part of me that like wants to punish you for like spending like hours upon hours of like doing AI bullshit.
I mean,
and what better way to take one of his favorite songs and putting it in D tier?
You could put it in S tier and like behind all the other ones, but it's gotta be S tier, man.
Well, you
It's
could
like
put it in D tier. Look at his face right now. He's slowly having an aneurysm.
Come on, man.
Ugh, decisions. All right, and now I'm the 12 angriest man who has to like decide to move things forward. I do really like it, so I'll put it in the bottom of the S tier.
Thank you.
I'll tell you what. I will come up to A tier.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
For real? Oh my god. Thank you, sorry, Scott, for elevating your taste just a little bit, just despite me.
I just don't want it in A tier. It doesn't deserve it.
All right, that was a. I did not think that was going to be the most contentious one, but who knows?
Oh man!
So now we've got ending 8, which is I think it's first death. So this is also like a really good ending. It's the one with like Aki and Himio, and they're just like kind of like TK First Death is the name of the ending. It's like the Haki Himio ending. It's like visually really, really cool. It's not my favorite though, but I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are.
I mean, I really liked it. Let's see, what was that episode? That was ending 8, right?
Yep.
I didn't like it that much.
Actually, no. That's the next one that I liked more. I think
the next one is like it's the one where they have like a scene where like Aki. Well, it's like really kind of grungy. It's like showing off like this is public safety. It's like if I were to describe it, I'd say it's like the Men in Black ending.
Yeah.
Wait, are you talking about this the TK from First Death ending?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
You call it Men in Black ending? Why?
Because like the focus of the ending is kind of like showing off public safety. It's like this is where they store the public safety devil hunter cars. This is the office. This is the graveyard where the public safety devil hunters all die. This is your fate. It almost like has the vibe of like a recruitment video.
I'd put it in C tier.
But are you sure you're thinking of this the same one I'm thinking of?
Which one are you thinking of?
It's got like that, like Potato S is saying, it's got a Tokyo Ghoul kind of
all right,
song.
yeah, it does have a Tokyo Ghoul vibe. And they have like the Con Fox like tears into like this spider leg monster. What do you think? I'm I don't think it's bad. I think it's a fun ending, but it didn't really hit me as anything special.
Yeah, I would have put it in C actually. Kind of next to maybe slightly above Canaria.
Was that the power ending?
No, C, the bottom.
Oh, you think it's
Yeah, I would have put it ahead of Canaria. Canaria is last on my list.
1 second. All right, so it's ahead of Canaria. It's not bad. I think it's visually interesting, but like I don't know. I just think there are like other ones that like do more interesting things.
This song, I think this song is really like the not as appealing to me. I think it's just really doesn't. I don't like it as much at all.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all right.
Again, I feel like this is just any of these I would have been absolutely thrilled to have as the actual ending. But I mean, I feel like we have such a range and variety of choices, and so many of them are so good that like again, we're grading on a turd or on a curve. So much of this are absolutely fantastic. But yeah, I mean, if we're basically ranking in terms of this, then yeah. See, now the next one I actually did really like.
That
Which one
is
was
Aimer
this?
Deep Down. It's the intestines blood ending.
Oh yeah, that was my second favorite.
Uh,
That was my second.
Yeah, it
Top.
is like, especially with like how Fujimoto uses intestines later. I thought that was like a
Yeah.
really creative, really, grotesque, but also strangely beautiful little piece of work.
Yeah, this is
Visually stimulating, like with all the drawings and animations of the intestines doing some crazy shit, and also like a very sad piece, like send off for Himino, right?
Yeah, it was kind of like her tribute
Um,
song.
see now. Weirdly enough, this gives me nostalgia vibes because it looks to be far more traditionally animated than a lot of the other stuff on this list.
Yeah,
Interesting. What?
I think this was a very well done one.
So here's the question. My suggestion is A tier. What are your thoughts? We all have like a lot of really positive opinions about it. But like how good?
S.
Interesting.
I am torn between A and S tier because I really do like it. It is really really pretty.
You think about, there's not that many I feel like there's not that many ones that take you like down like this like emotional low with like the singing, with the song.
Yeah.
And I think that's, kind of special with the ending song as well. But it's also like, giving hope a little bit with the visuals too, to, I guess, counterbalance
Yeah,
that in
I'm
some
torn
way.
between A and S, so I would be willing to put it at the very bottom of the S tier.
Yeah, I could understand that. I would definitely put it in. I would put it above everything else that's been put in S, but I understand.
It's your favorite one, Greg?
It's my second favorite.
Really? Oh, I didn't think it was your second favorite beyond the whatchamacallit, the '90s nostalgia one. So we could put it in the S tier, maybe at the last ranking of the S tier. Does that seem appropriate?
That suits me.
I would definitely put it higher, but if that's the consensus, then you're not willing to go higher than that.
No, not considering like the other two that rank above it. It's hard because like it's really really good, but the other ones are just like
Okay.
It's like grading different things of artistic inspiration. It's interesting though. I didn't know that was your second favorite one.
Yeah. Well.
So
I looked through all of them and I was like, yeah, that really slaps. So.
All right. So next we have episode 10, Dogland, which is one of the more artistically interesting experimentals, but I think it's probably the least successful out of all of them, with the weird, like, live action on a gradient thing that they tried.
Yeah.
Here's my problem. I want to like this a lot. I really, really want to like this. But also, it gives me a headache.
Yeah.
Like, watching it I'm not saying like oh, this gives me a fucking headache, I don't like it. It's like, I want to like it. I want to enjoy it. It's really visually interesting. The high contrast literally just like gives me a throbbing headache. And it's hard for me to look at.
If it was me, I think I would put it at the top of C tier that we have right now. I put this one behind the power one. The power ending.
Oh, that's B tier.
But I would definitely put it ahead of definitely put it ahead of Canaria. and TK from First Death, which was
I mean, I'm willing
Which
to
is-
go up to C. Sorry, go ahead.
which one was the TK from First Death? Is that the one you guys wanted to put in S?
No, isn't TK from First Death? That's the one that we put in C tier because that's the one with Aki and the Men in Black one, where
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. So in that case, I think I would put it ahead of I'd put it at the top of the C tier list then.
I like TK from Death better than it. I think it's an interesting experiment. I think it's kind of a failed experiment because I do get that headache vibes. It reminds me of like playing an N64 game on a CRT monitor, where it's like everything's kind of jaggy. If you spend too much time with it, you're like, I just like, God, I can't take it. Neither of you remember that, like getting headaches from playing like PS1 or N64 games?
Yeah.
I mean, I can see this being at the bottom of B tier too.
I mean, right now I'm willing to put it in C tier specifically because of it was an interesting execution. I would say a failed execution, but an interesting idea. It's like if it was any less interesting, I would say D tier just because it gives me a fucking headache every single time.
Yeah,
But I want to acknowledge that it was a cool idea and they tried something interesting.
yeah, I would put it in that line too, and it also, it feels very Chainsaw Manny. Well, it feels pretty Chainsaw Manny, especially towards like the middle parts of the song, where there's like not as much like the negative footage that they used or whatever.
Well, it's got the dingy, with dogs in an alley. It's that grungy vibe that we all love so much. I'd say the bottom of C tier. So what do you think? Do you think that's appropriate, or do you think it ranks above?
That sounds about right.
I would put it higher though. You want to put it in the bottom?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting experiment, but I still say it's a failed experiment. I don't 100% hate it, but I don't think it's as successful as like some of the other stuff we got.
All right, I mean, that's fine.
It's no one's favorite to the point where anyone wants to fight for it or like, no, it deserves it.
Yeah.
But I do get that headachy vibes. I do like it just because it does something interesting. But like, I think the other ones that are like, good but not good enough, are like more competent and they don't give you headaches.
Yeah, I appreciated like the risks they took with this one. I think something, but like look at Canaria for instance. That one, it felt very like it looked beautiful, like watercolory, but it's like that's something that you could just copy paste and put into any kind of anime ending and it would still work.
Yeah,
like that's why I would put Canaria in the bottom.
Yeah, I still think it's like more effective. All right, so you want me to put it ahead of Canaria?
I do, at the very least.
All right, fine. I can acquiesce to that. I'll give you that. Canaria is not like a hill I'm willing to die on. All right, so now we have violence.
After watching this a second time, it's really grown on me.
This one I was always kind of like weirded out by because like tonally it feels like the most out of left field. Like it looks like it's from like some fucking like Sword Art Online anime where like Genji gets trapped in a virtual world because it's got like so much cyber space. So I wasn't quite sure what to make. I like the fact that it like felt so fucking different than anything else, but I don't know if it was my favorite. I don't know. Zavi, what did you think?
Honestly, this might be one of my least favorite endings. It was okay. It didn't really do much for me. And we gotta.
What did you say?
We gotta put something in D tier.
I don't know if it's D tier, but
I don't think we necessarily have to put any of these in D tier. I mean, I've loved a lot of like these ending ones. I think they really put a lot of heart into all of these. Some of them less successful than others. I wouldn't necessarily say like they they bombed out. If it was like something that was really fucking lazy, then I would definitely put it in D tier. But this took a great deal of effort and risk to make something like this.
It is like really unique. I do appreciate how different it is from all the other ones. It's the one that feels like least Chainsaw Man-y, but like I don't love it. I don't know. I think it deserves like maybe bottom of the C tier.
Okay, so let me see if I can make. Can I make my
All
case?
right, make
So-
well, what tier do you think it should belong in? Like, give me a tier pitch before you make your defend it.
Yeah, so I would have put it in A.
No, that's generous. That's way too generous.
Probably the bottom of A
No.
or second
No,
A.
no. Why do you like it so
Yeah,
much?
But you know what? It's got like it's so like tonally different from like any other like ending song like I've ever heard in an anime. And I feel like it's just and it's like very catchy too. Do you guys feel like it's catchy like the song?
It's got a little bit of an up pop beat, which is kind of interesting.
And it kind of fits like the fact that it's set in like 1997 a bit. It's like it feels like a Backstreet Boys video in a sense, you know, but with like Chainsaw Man characters.
I think it feels a little more modern than like a Backstreet Boys video, but I do get your sensibility.
Maybe like an early 2000s.
Yeah, it feels early 2000s.
vibe.
It reminds me of like, what was that song from like the back? I don't know if it was Backstreet Boys. It was like, or In Sync. It was like, that's why you're larger than life.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that.
Uh,
Or like there's like really bad like kind of like generic like 3D effects that are happening throughout the song, and they're just playing like with like 3D in like this really amateurish kind of way it feels very reminiscent of those times of like music videos, you know.
yeah, but like, I don't know how intentional that is. It just feels like kind of like a generic like fight anthem. Like, you know, it feels almost like
You don't think that's intentional?
No, I don't think that's intentional. Like the '90s thing feels fully intentional. This does not feel like it's early 2000s Backstreet Boy. It just feels like, you know, let's make
Like-
the most conventional pop ending for Chainsaw Man possible.
I feel like literally like you know, there's this one scene where like Power is just like dancing like in place. You don't feel like that's like very reminiscent. That's also adding to like this reminiscent time of like old music
Not
videos.
really.
Like,
I don't know. It feels like what would if Chainsaw Man aired on 4chan, not 4chan, 4Kids in like the late 2000s. This is what the intro song of it would be, and if it was like censored to high heaven.
really? Like this feels like. All right, I don't know. Where did you guys want to put it again?
I don't know. Maybe,
I'd say
I think either like maybe high C tier or maybe low B tier.
I'd be willing to put it in low B tier with you, Isaac.
Okay.
If that's where you're conceding.
Yeah, I'll concede that. Low D,
Okay.
low D, B tier. All right, now the final one, Eve.
Oh yeah. Oh.
So-
Yeah.
So, any opening thoughts on Eve's song? What's it called? Fight Song.
The fight song? Oh, you mean the
No,
opening
no.
song?
The last song is called Fight Song.
Oh, the last song is
It's
called
literally
Fight Song?
the band is called Eve,
thought-
and the song is called Fight Song.
Oh, okay. I didn't know because it was titled in Japanese in the video you linked.
Yeah. I translated it because I just wanted to refer to it. But Eve is the band, and the song is called Fight Song.
They call it A tier. It was
Yeah.
good. I liked it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Like I was pointing this out when I was talking about it after I first saw it with Zavil. I think it's like the only good happy ending in the entire series.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's slice of life, which is a lot of the appeal of Chainsaw Man, in my opinion. And yeah, I think it really perfectly encapsulates like why people really love the series, because they love seeing these characters interact. Yeah, it was like at my third highest on the list. I would have put it in S.
I don't know if I'd call it with S, but I think it's definitely A tier at least. I like it a lot.
I can you know s- I can agree to that. If you want to put it in like high A, I would be okay with that.
So you think so you agree with A tier?
Yeah, I'd agree with A tier.
But how much higher than...
uh,
Oh wait, is that Ano in there in A tier?
Yeah, that's the one you like.
All right, so it's behind Ano for sure.
You want to spite Greg to have it higher than Ano, or what do you think?
Yes.
All right.
I mean, I think it deserves to be higher.
Okay. There we go. It's A tier because of its power, like riding it like a freaking children ride. It is power in a playground.
Right.
It is power in a playground. All right, so let's wrap up this grand tour. What are we ranking the opening? Kickback.
Oh, God. Can I just say, I really do love the opening. I love the movie references. It's like a love letter to Fujimoto. And a lot of his, even like series like outside of Chainsaw Man that he's drawn up. Like, you remember like towards the final scenes of that intro is like...
Oh, yeah.
It's literally like them looking away from an exploding building, like the exploding building cancer mom.
Yeah,
thing.
Goodbye, Eri. Yeah, I love that homage.
Yeah, and how Makima is like, doing this, like that's very much Fire. I feel like that's a homage to Fire Punch. So cool. And all the movie references, I really did love it. I still love it.
I think it should go into S tier. I guess the question is it the top of the S tier, or does it like go in the behind? Any thoughts in terms of its placing?
Hmm.
You know what? Now thinking about it, I probably would have put it at third on my list of... I would put it behind... I would have put it slightly behind Aimer.
Which one was Aimer? Was that the third or the fifth?
Aimer was the... Shoot, which one was that? That was the 10th one. Or sorry, the 9th. I guess it would be 9th to you guys.
I'm looking for it. Oh, I see. Yeah,
that's a sad Himino.
The sad
one
blood one
with the guts and the blood like animations. I would have put it slightly behind that one.
So that would make it the least S tier. Zavil, do you have a thought? Do you think it deserves to go there, or do you think it deserves to go somewhere else?
Yeah, it does. It does. I really like this.
Okay, but you like the other ones more because they're a little bit more artistically interesting.
I'd put it as second.
Okay.
Like you put in the second on the S tier list.
Yep.
I can. You know what? After thinking about it more, I would probably put it second to something like. It just like that intro captures the soul of Chainsaw Man so well. It feels like a real love letter to Chainsaw Man and like all his other works.
Yeah. That is like what makes it
Fuck.
so interesting, and like it's already iconic. People love the hot dog dance with Denji and Power. People love all the other stuff. Yeah, so it definitely deserves the S tier. So all right, I think that any other final thoughts, or I guess what would you grade the Chainsaw Man anime before we have a quick discussion of Chainsaw Man Part 2?
Graded 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I really have. I cannot think off the top of. I'm sure if I thought about it, I could come up with a lot of problems, but I fucking love this series.
Yeah.
I have never been this happy about anime in a long time.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, there are like a few like little nitpicks here and there in the adaptation I could like bring up. Like there's like one panel from the manga that I love that they didn't have, where like Denji's like reflecting on, do I not have a heart anymore? And he has this face, I better not think about the serious stuff. And I really wanted, and they didn't have that in. But like those are just minor quibbles. It gets so much right. It goes so hard when it doesn't really need to. And in a world filled where like it seems like every beloved franchise just seems to get destroyed by mediocrity or talent that doesn't give a shit about it, to see like the one time
Like Berserk.
What'd you say?
Like Berserk.
Yes.
Oh.
People who don't have the who don't
jeez.
have the capability or the ability to discuss it. That'll be a good segue. We'll get into that. I'm very interested to like talk about that finally. Yeah, it feels fantastic to see that like an animation team was on par with the material, understood the material, and gave it to its love. So I think it deserves a 10.
Yeah.
It's like one of the best series I've seen in like years. Like so good.
It deserves its place. I think it is. So, all right, before we get into Berserk, I just want to. So, what do you guys think of Chainsaw Man Part 2? Since we are in the Chainsaw Man-assance with not only Part 1 being finished, but also Fujimoto publishing Part 2. So, for anyone who wants their Chainsaw Man hipster card, you can read Part 2, and then you can feel superior because you know who Bucky is, you know who Asa Makata is, and you can start memeing with all the Chainsaw Man 2-part stuff that all the normies who just got on the Chainsaw Man bandwagon have. So, all right, what are your thoughts on Part 2 so far?
Good.
I'm
It's
still
good.
waiting to see. I'm still kind of waiting to see where this goes.
Like it doesn't have like a clear direction quite yet. Like I feel like Denji is just kind of like hanging out at the high school right now for like almost very little reason. So right now it's centered more on Asa's goals.
Yeah, she's kind of become the protagonist, while Denji's more of a supporting character at this point.
Right, but like you almost like could feel like you could make the switch from Asa as being a protagonist to Denji at some point. But I just don't know how or why. Because like right now there doesn't seem like a very clear direction for Denji besides him wanting to get fame for being Chainsaw Man. But the squid guy is like he's not buying it, or he's like trying to he's trying to bribe Denji to not reveal that he's Chainsaw Man.
Well, I'll say this much. I'm really enjoying it, but I can understand Zavul. It feels a little bit formless, where it doesn't quite feel like what's the bigger authorial authoritative or narrative thing that it's leading towards, in the sense that like there's no sort of larger goal and structure other than Asa to survive the War Devil or make friends with the War Devil, and Denji just wants a girlfriend. So it feels a little bit formless, but I do think like the octopus guy feels like when Fujimoto wants to pull the curtain back, he's going to be part of like some secret organization that's tied into this bigger world, and he's going to be the tool that takes us into that whenever Fujimoto chooses to do that.
It's Yeah, I'm amazed like how much fan art they made of Octopus Guy even before Chainsaw Man Part 2. Is like he had like such a brief appearance in the manga, and like people like made just like all this beautiful fan art of this character. And I was like, wow, like just like for a few seconds of a guy with like literally a mole on his cheek and like some squid arm thing for like a brief panel, like yeah, I was really surprised how much love this character got, but he does grow on me too, so I think he's kind of cool and mysterious.
Yeah, I'm kind of holding judgment until we see where this is going. I feel like I don't have enough information to see what the hell is happening yet. So this could either be... I am considering all of the stuff Fujimoto has done so far. I am more than willing to wait and see where this goes, but right now I feel like it's a little slow, and I don't really have quite the information I would need to make an informed opinion.
Oh, that's interesting. It still feels like too early arc in the curtain on whatever the overall game. Because, like, I guess my argument of positive, like, in some ways I agree with you, but the other part I'd say is that, like, that we've all said that we love the slower slice of life stuff, and we are basically just getting like overwrought, like fun high school stuff with like, I'm the captain of the Chainsaw Man fan club. Oh, Asa, you're so you're not dependable. Where that stuff is fun, and obviously, like, I guess my big complaint is like some people really love Asa. To me, I think she's fine, but I don't think she eclipses Denji. And all the highlights of Part 2 have just been like seeing Denji like try and make like illegal cigarettes, or Denji like let people sit on him for money, or just like start eating cake.
Yeah, I feel like just seeing Denji like do his Denji stuff is still pretty fun. It's I guess it's like a little bit like there is a bit of like, oh, I do miss the Aki power Denji dynamic so much, but seeing any Denji, I think really sells this series for me. I think I don't know. I guess I feel like there's a possibility to write convincing, strong relationships with Denji again, but it is going to take some time, I think, for the audience to really get one over. I think because Power and Aki were so great, and Makima, I guess. Yeah.
You think that they were like so iconic and well done that like it's going to be hard to replace them or build a new dynamic that people like as much as that?
Yeah, exactly.
I will say this, like, Chainsaw Man Part 2 hasn't, except for, like, I like the reintroduction of, like, where Denji comes back with the Bat Devil, and then it's just like, yeah, he comes in, and then the trolley problem. I laughed my ass off, but other than that, there haven't been, like, oh, shit moments like there were in Chainsaw Man Part 1. Like, the Katana Man was an oh, shit moment. This is hype. Darkness Devil, oh, shit. International Assassins with all the crazy assassins, oh, shit moment, back to back to back. The gun devil, I'm waiting for like those jaw dropping, and I also want to see some more like really cool devil designs. All we've really gotten is that like kind of Justice Devil mutation, which was it was okay, but it wasn't my favorite. I want a really good I want something on par with the Darkness Devil. So I'd say like if I were to give it graded as it is now, I'd give it like maybe an 8.5. I enjoy the character dynamics and the comedy, but I do agree it does feel formless, and I'm kind of like waiting for the shoe to drop and to sort of see what the larger kind of narrative intent or focus is supposed to be.
You know what? You know what's something that I feel like is missing from this series that would really help is just to see like Denji, like I don't know if Fujimoto kind of like overlooks this, I think, in his manga, but like mourning for the loss of like some really, mourning for the loss of like these characters like randomly in the series, I feel like Fujimoto, he is very like he is very open to killing off his characters left and right, and like that's fine. And then like the characters are able to grieve when they die, but like I feel like Denji, like I think what I really want to see from Denji in part 2 is like him actually being like, deeply affected by the loss of power and Aki, I guess, at some point.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like my guess is like assuming that Fujimoto's building the Denji Asa relationship into like something bigger, that eventually she's going to come to his apartment or wherever the fuck he's living, and then that's where we'll kind of like get like the Denji catch up to see his emotional state and how he views his time with Aki and power. And there's still it remains to be seen if Fujimoto goes to hell again, and then we get reintroduced to power as she like reincarnates as a new form of the Blood Devil.
Right. Yes, I would have loved to. I would love to see that if it does happen. To see power.
One thing that's also been very interesting and a little deliberate, and I'm a little afraid, is like how like it's mirroring the progression of part 1, where there's like the Bat Devil has a minor role, then the Eternity Devil comes back. And I'm almost like wondering if is Fujimoto planning like a Metal Gear Solid style like weird thing where it's like, this is just a simulation to see if we can turn anyone into a chainsaw man. Asa, you're the chainsaw woman, because I orchestrated this. I'm the Mega Hell Plan Devil. I'm the anime villain devil, and this was just a chainsaw man simulation where we could put, because they had this really dumb thing, and among many of the crazy things of Metal Gear Solid 2, where it's like, he says, this is all simulation to ensure that we can make the new super soldier by emulating the video game of the Shadow Moses incident, which is why all of the things in Metal Gear Solid 2 are meant to emulate the things that you did in Metal Gear Solid 1.
I hope that's not the case, but I would be shocked if that was the case. I think though Fujimoto, look at something like Fire Punch Man.
Just Fire Punch.
Yeah. Fire Punch. There's a lot of really depressing themes and like situations in that manga, and you hardly ever get time for that character to like actually feel like remorse and sorrow for all those tragic things to happen to him, almost like to the point of like comedic effect. And I wonder if that might be a weakness for Fujimoto, actually. As good as he is, I'm wondering if it is going to be something that comes up later.
We'll have
series.
to wait and see how he like processes it, because like after Aki dies, there's like a good half chapter chapter where he's like broken up. So, and like I say, that's that as they say in the edgier parts of the internet, that scene was Kino, where he's like just depressed and he has like a popsicle stick that says "You're a winner," and then he just wants to like kill himself because he's depressed. He's like, "I killed Aki." So it's not entirely bereft, but like, because it's so fast paced, it's not like he's going to spend 3 or 4 chapters on it. But, there have been ramifications. Like one of my favorite chapters of part 1 with Power's PTSD. So it's not like Fujimoto's completely doesn't reflect on it. But I guess you want like Denji to acknowledge the fact that Power and Aki aren't, or just something to call back to it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that would help us emotionally empathize, I think, with Denji at this point right now, because right now he seems very like carefree and very numb to the fact that all this, like, he tragically lost like his closest friends.
Yeah. What would you rate it? I'd rate part 2 8.5. I think Zavul's going to abstain. He doesn't want to give it a rating, but he's enjoying it. Or curious to follow. Is that about right?
Yeah, I feel like I can't rate it right now. I need to wait to see what kind of payoff we get before I can make a judgment on what is happening right now.
But you don't necessarily feel like the ball's been dropped. It doesn't feel like it's been a complete oh shit, it lost the plot. It hasn't promised Neverlanded yet.
No, I'm more than willing to give Fujimoto the massive benefit of a doubt and see if this all has a huge payoff.
Goro, what is your rating?
Well, it might change. It might change down the line, but I will probably give it like an 8 right now. I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah, I think it's a fair thing. So no Asa diehards here. Nobody here stands Asa over Denji.
Nah.
It's like, yeah. Asa's character is like not quite as fun and entertaining as Denji. She's kind of like the straight man, but like sometimes clumsy and kills a chicken and accidentally runs into his homicidal best friend. It's like bad things keep on happening to her over and over again. I'm not quite sure.
I also hope the War Devil does it seems like the War Devil came out like super intimidating, and then she's just kind of like been neutered throughout the thing, and she just kind of becomes petulant and like, I couldn't kill Chainsaw Man. Yeah. Versus her introduction, which is kind of funny, but I feel like I would like to see the menace return somehow.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that.
All right, so that finishes Chainsaw Man Part 2. Now, what?
Oh, there was one thing Potato mentioned. Would you guys watch a Fire Punch anime despite our problems with it?
Yeah, out of morbid curiosity, just to see how they adapt it and see if they like somehow improve it through some sort of miracle adaptation. I would want to watch it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too.
My expectations would be very low, but I'd like to see someone try to do something with it.
I would watch it. So, well, okay, let me put it this way. I would show it to people who had no idea what was happening. That would just be my hey, you want to watch something weird, and then just sit them down with no expectation of what they were going into and just go.
Yeah.
That's
about it. All right, so 5 seconds of silence for my editing.